If you have an entry-level DSLR like this one right here, which is the Nikon D3400, and want to learn more about placing copyright information inside your photos, then stay tuned. This video is for you. I've received a handful of questions regarding adding copyright information to images that are taken with DSLRs like this right here. Now, most cameras on the market today have the ability to do it. This should be a relatively quick and short video. We're going to jump right in. I'm going to show you specifically how to do it on this Nikon here. Keep in mind that your camera might differ, but most likely it has the ability to do it. Now, before I jump in on this, I want to talk for just a minute about this copyright information. So what is it and how does it work? Well, essentially, it is information that you put into the camera that attaches itself to each image that you take. Now, it doesn't actually show on the image itself. That's called a watermark, and I'll save that for another video. This is information that actually goes along with the image and is behind the scenes. You can actually view it as part of the metadata that is attached to the image. It's kind of like finding out what the aperture is and the shutter speed and all that good stuff. So the information that you put into this camera will be attached to that image, and if that image floats along anywhere on the internet or it's handed off to someone else, that information can still be viewed. Now, if you don't have the information attached to the image, do you still have the copyright? Yes, you do. So this is just one way of doing some additional due diligence to prove that you actually own this image. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to show you how to make it happen on this camera right here. On the back of this D3400, you'll start off by hitting the menu button right here on the left-hand side. Now you can use your pad on the right-hand side here, and you want to ensure you're in the setup menu. So you can just come up and down, you're in the setup menu, go to the right, and you'll see copyright information. Now I have this off right here. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And now I'm inside the copyright information area, and you can see the ability to add the artist and the copyright. Now in order to add the artist, you don't want to hit OK. What you want to do is just hit the right pad over here, and this will take you into the keyboard. Now, when you're looking at the keyboard, you can key your information in, as I've done here. Just enter John Doe. But when you do this, it's not the most intuitive. So in order to move the cursor, you can use the dial here in the upper right, and you'll see that the cursor moves around here. And that's kind of nice. One thing to keep in mind here is that the OK button is to enter the actual character. So if I want to enter the character P, for example, I'm on top of P, I'm going to hit OK, and there's P. Now if I want to remove P, I got to arrow back over to it with my dial up here, and then hit the trash key right here, and this is going to delete that letter. Now again, I don't think it's the most intuitive, but it works. So just something to think about as you're going to put this in. And once you're done, you want to hit the plus on the magnifying glass over here, and this is actually the OK for your entry here. I know it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it does work out. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that. Now my artist is saved. I can come down and do the same thing for copyright, and you'll be in good shape. Now when you have that done, you come up here to attach copyright information, and what I want to do is I'm going to hit OK here, and if you hit OK, you can see it just takes me back to the menu. I got to go back into it, and what I need to do is hit the right arrow over here, so it's the pad, and it's going to select and deselect. Select, deselect. So I'm going to leave it selected, hit OK again. Now it's turned on, and I'm ready to go. As promised, this video is short, sweet, and to the point. There's not a whole lot to it, and keeping in mind that if you have a different camera, just look for it in your manual, because I'm sure it has the option to do something very similar. Now, it's not something that I do too often. If I really want to try to protect my images, I typically watermark them. And again, I can save that for another video. If you're interested in that, just leave a comment below. Don't forget, I am on Instagram. It's a relatively new account. I've been putting more and more pictures out there, and I know a handful of you have already followed me, so if you haven't done so, feel free to do the same. I'm going to post a link in the description below as to where you can find my account, so go ahead and join me over there. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel. It's called Real World. More often than not, I post videos about photography and technology, but you never know. So until the next video, take care of yourself and be safe.